Daughter, I was sent to speak to the space in you that no one sees, the place where silence lingers longer than it should, and hope flickers like a candle in a storm. Before the reunion comes the ache, the quiet, the kind of stillness that doesn't soothe, but stretches. I know you felt it, the weight of being unseen, the tension between the promise and the pause. You wonder if heaven forgot you, if all your prayers vanished into a sky too busy to notice. But nothing you whispered has been lost. Every sigh, every tear, every silent why has been gathered. You're not being punished, beloved. You're being prepared. Because some reunions are too holy to be rushed. The silence you're walking through isn't empty. It's sacred. It's where angels are assigned and hearts are refined. It's where God rearranges things without needing your permission. You don't see it yet, but this silence is your shaping. This breaking isn't your end. It's the doorway to everything you prayed for. Heaven sees how you lay awake at night, staring at ceilings and wondering how things fell apart. The truth is, they didn't fall. They were stripped. What couldn't go with you into your next season was gently removed. Not because you're unworthy, but because you're called. You keep asking for closure, but God is giving you clarity. And clarity doesn't always come with explanations. Sometimes it comes with isolation. You're not lost. You're in transition. You're not forgotten. You're in divine hiding, where only the voice of the shepherd can reach you. There are days you feel like you're breaking. But listen, breaking doesn't mean you're dying. It means you're shedding. Shedding old identities, shedding false hopes, shedding versions of you that survived out of fear, not faith. This silence is pruning you for purpose. You've been mistaking silence for absence. But daughter, the teacher is always silent during the test. And right now, you're passing something you didn't even know you had the strength to face. Keep walking. You're not failing. You're being fortified. Heaven hasn't abandoned you. It's building around you. Angels are stationed where you can't see. Answers are moving in ways you can't trace. The delay is not denial. It's divine timing. And the longer the silence, the greater the glory that follows it. Yes, you're tired. And yes, your heart feels bruised from waiting. But don't confuse this waiting room for a burial site. What looks dead is only dormant. What feels delayed is only maturing. Some promises don't bloom early because they're meant to endure forever. I know you miss them. I know you replay the words left unsaid. But what's coming will be greater than what was lost. The reunion you long for isn't just about seeing someone again. It's about becoming someone new before they arrive. You won't just meet again. You'll meet whole. This silence has been your teacher. It's taught you who's real, what matters, and how to listen deeper. It's made you fierce in the spirit, soft in the soul, and unshakable in faith. Don't despise the quiet. It's where heaven carved your name into the future. You're not waiting because you're weak. You're waiting because you're worthy. Worthy of more than halfway love, halfway peace, halfway joy. God is writing a story where nothing about you will be overlooked again. Not your voice, not your worth, not your heart. The reunion will come, but it will find you different. Not desperate, not bitter, not broken. It will find you crowned in quiet strength, unrecognizable to the past version of yourself. And when that door opens, you'll know the silence didn't break you. It revealed you. Don't rush this part. There is oil being crushed in your spirit, anointing that only comes through pressure. And what you're carrying isn't just for you. It's for every woman watching you heal, hoping her healing is next. You are proof that beauty comes from ashes. You will not be remembered by what you lost, You will be remembered by how you rose, with grace, with grit, with God all over you. Your scars won't scream pain, they'll whisper power. And your silence won't echo sadness, it'll radiate wisdom. Your steps are not random, your tears are not wasted, your prayers are not ignored. Everything about this season is purposeful, and one day soon, you'll look back and bless the silence that once made you weep, because it birthed the strength you now walk in. Listen to me, daughter. He's coming. Not just the one you hope for, but the you that you've been growing into. She's coming out of hiding, out of survival, out of silence, and she'll carry a voice that shakes rooms and heals wounds. You're almost there. Don't quit in the quiet. Don't surrender in the silence. Heaven is closer than it's ever been. When the reunion finally happens, it will make sense. All of it. Every tear, every weight, every whisper in the dark. For now, breathe, rest, watch, and remember, the silence didn't come to destroy you. It came to crown you. There's a part of you that wonders if you're still on the right path, if the silence means you've taken a wrong turn. But daughter, you need to know, even detours are part of divine direction. God doesn't lose you when you feel lost. Sometimes He leads you the long way on purpose, so nothing that belongs to you is rushed or ruined. You think you're standing still, but spiritually, you're soaring. The things you've overcome in secret, the nights you didn't quit, the days you chose to believe without evidence, have made you dangerous to darkness. That's why the enemy tried to convince you you're forgotten. He knows what you're about to walk into. There's a fire being kindled in you that no one sees yet. Not even you, but heaven sees it. And every quiet moment, every hidden battle, every yes whispered through tears is feeding that flame. The world may overlook you now, but the next season will require your voice, your wisdom, your fire. What you carry can't be built in the spotlight. It needs solitude. It needs consecration. And yes, it needs silence. Don't confuse quiet seasons with wasted ones. Some of God's greatest works are done underground, roots before fruit, depth before display. You've been asking God for clarity, and He's giving you capacity. Capacity to carry what you prayed for. Capacity to remain when it gets heavy. Capacity to love again, lead again, trust again. Don't rush through the discomfort. It's making you a vessel that can't be shaken. Heaven isn't waiting for you to be perfect, just present. Present in your surrender. Present in your yes. Present in your willingness to stay on the altar when it would be easier to run. That's where the breakthrough happens. Not in your strength, but in your stillness. There's someone watching your silence, wondering how you're still standing. And one day they'll come to you not for pity, but for answers. Because what nearly broke you built a blueprint. You're becoming someone others will run to when their world goes quiet. The people who left you in the silence, let them go. Their absence made room for your awakening. Their distance gave God space to speak louder. You didn't lose anything He planned to use, and what's ahead will not require convincing, begging, or proving. It will recognize you. You've been hidden for a reason, not rejected, reserved, kept for something holy. Because not everyone is meant to witness your becoming. Some people would have misnamed it, mishandled it, or tried to dim it. God hid you to protect what's about to be revealed. There is healing rising inside of you that even you didn't ask for. Healing from things you normalized, survival modes you thought were permanent, walls you built so high you forgot what peace felt like. But heaven is gentle, and it's softening you without breaking your strength. You won't always feel this fragile. The ache won't always be this loud. But right now, Your sensitivity is sacred. Don't rush back to numbness just to avoid feeling. Stay tender. Stay honest. That's where the voice of God moves, in the space where you're real with yourself. There's a version of you on the other side of this silence who is unstoppable. Not because she's loud or forceful, but because she's rooted. She knows who walks with her. She's not shaken by delay, rejection, or silence. She carries stillness like a weapon. You've cried over timelines, over doors that didn't open, over people who couldn't stay. But what if the delay was mercy? What if God was keeping you from things that would have compromised your destiny? Not every closed door is rejection. Some are redirection in disguise. Your story is being written in a heavenly ink that can't be erased by disappointment. What feels unfinished to you is already resolved in the spirit. You don't need all the answers. You just need trust. Trust like oxygen, like oil, like oxygen for your purpose. Some reunions aren't with people. They're with pieces of yourself. And you, daughter, are being reunited with courage, with confidence, with joy. You are circling back to places you once broke. And this time, you will walk through them healed and whole. The pain that once disoriented you is now a map. You know what betrayal feels like. You know what loneliness sounds like. But you also know what it means to rise from the ashes. You're a living testimony in progress, and every step is making you bolder. Don't be surprised when peace starts returning in strange ways, in a song you didn't plan to hear, in a word someone speaks without knowing your story, in a sunset that feels like a whisper from heaven. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations. You were made for moments like this. Not the easy ones, but the ones that test your roots. You are not fragile, daughter. You are fierce in your quiet. You are mighty in your mourning. You are rising even now, and you don't need applause to prove it. Your silence has not gone unnoticed. Heaven has recorded it. And every moment you stayed faithful in the stillness, the angels took note. The next move of God in your life will look sudden, but it was built in every silent yes no one saw but Him. And when the silence finally breaks, it won't just be sound, it'll be glory. You've started noticing the small shifts, the way your soul flinches at what used to feel familiar. That's not regression, that's refinement. You're no longer available for what drains you. And even though it's lonely, that loneliness is sacred. It means you're no longer fitting into the wrong rooms. People will say you changed. Let them. They never knew the version of you that had to survive silence without explanation. Growth isn't always pretty. Sometimes it's brutal. Sometimes it's weeping on the floor, praying for peace in a language only angels understand. Your strength isn't loud. It doesn't shout to be heard. It simply endures. And that's why you're still here. You didn't crumble. You adapted. You didn't go numb. You felt everything and still chose to believe. That kind of faith moves heaven. There are days you feel disconnected from your old life, but not yet fully planted in your new one. That in-between is sacred ground. It's where God rewrites your identity without asking permission from your past. Who you were is no match for who you're becoming. Heaven didn't forget your promises, but it did hide them from premature exposure. Some blessings only blossom when you're strong enough to protect them. The version of you that's emerging is being trusted with things that couldn't survive who you used to be. You've been asking, when? But the real question is, will you be ready? Because suddenly doesn't give warning. It comes after years of silent sowing. And daughter, your suddenly is coming. It will look like favor, but it will feel like fire, because you were born for it. The enemy has been trying to distract you with memories, But even your memories are losing power. You're starting to remember differently, not from the pain, but from the lesson. And that's how you know you've healed, when the memory no longer robs you, but restores you. This next season won't require striving. It will require stillness. The doors that open for you will not need force. They will recognize your name. You won't have to explain your worth. You'll simply walk in it. What once resisted you will now receive you. There's a crown forming in the quiet, not a visible one, a spiritual one, and it's weighty. It comes with authority that was purchased through heartbreak, obedience, and relentless trust. When you wear it, people won't understand how, but they'll feel why. Stop apologizing for your depth. Not everyone is meant to swim where you dwell. Some only understand shallow. But you weren't called to stay surface level. The Spirit has been calling you into deep waters, because that's where the treasures are hidden. Even your silence has been prophetic. What you didn't say held power. What you didn't chase protected you. Every closed-mouth moment was a weapon heaven used to shift things in your favor. You've won more battles through restraint than you'll ever know. The wilderness wasn't punishment. It was preparation. It taught you what comfort couldn't. It introduced you to God in ways the crowd never would. You met His whisper there. And once you've heard the whisper, you'll never settle for noise again. There is restoration coming that will make sense of every lonely night. It will arrive in the form of peace so thick, you'll weep, not from pain, but from the relief of finally exhaling. You won't have to fight to keep it. It will rest with you, because it belongs to you. Someone out there is waiting for the version of you that hasn't yet fully stepped forward. And when you do, you'll break generational patterns without even raising your voice. You won't just inspire people, you'll awaken them. Every detour is being redeemed. Every tear has watered something that's about to bloom. And when it does, you won't even remember what you lost, because what's coming will be so saturated in purpose, it'll eclipse every former pain. There's a reason you've been feeling the shift before it happens. Prophets always sense change before others do. You're not overreacting, you're discerning. Trust your spirit. It's not being dramatic, it's being divinely alert. God is doing something so new, not even your old language fits it. Stop trying to explain it to people who weren't meant to understand. This is between you and heaven. What you're birthing doesn't need validation, it needs obedience. The silence before the promise is where your authority is forged. This isn't a breakdown, it's a birthing room. And just because it's quiet doesn't mean nothing's happening. It means heaven is focused, and so should you be. You haven't missed it. You haven't fallen behind. You haven't disqualified yourself. The enemy wants you to think you're late, but you're right on schedule, God's schedule. And that clock doesn't tick with fear, it ticks with grace. And when the world finally sees what silence was preparing, they'll call it a miracle. But you'll know the truth. It was never sudden, it was sacred. And it started the day you chose to keep walking, even when all you heard was silence. Beloved daughter, if your heart stayed with me until now, know this wasn't just a message. It was a divine appointment. Heaven knew exactly when you would need these words, and it was my honor to deliver them. Thank you for opening your spirit, for listening beyond the noise, for receiving truth in the silence. Now, if this message spoke to you deeply, if you felt seen, held, and reminded of who you are, confirm that this word reached you by declaring in the comments, "I can do all things through Him who strengthens me." Let that be your affirmation. Let that be your agreement with heaven. And if you desire to keep receiving words like this, Messages straight from the heart of God, filled with prophetic clarity, encouragement, and divine strategy. I invite you to join our channel. Subscribe now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Stay watchful. The angels are still speaking. There are more messages on the way, each one carrying the exact portion your soul has been waiting for. May the peace of heaven flood your home, and may your faith rise stronger with every word. Until the next message, stay ready, stay expectant, stay aligned,